Hello and welcome to the Arsenal post-match review right here on shamblesfc.com. And what a game this was. Holy cow. I don't even know where to begin with this game. Arsenal 2, Newcastle United 1, and I think this is the third time of me saying it, but my level of pistosity has gone down significantly since Arsenal came back with a beautiful win, I should say, at St. James's Park. It is not easy to go there and get a W. So the fact that Arsenal came in and did the business there, mind you, very, very late, is incredible. So, Valdemar's goal in the 34th minute absolutely had me tearing my hair out. But with the goals of Marino and Gabriel, all in 80-plus minutes, is amazing. I troll Liverpool as much as possible here when I call them late goals FC. Well, Arsenal are starting to become that as well. So what does that mean? The mentality is there to try and go and get the win, even though Arsenal left it late. And usually Arsenal are the type of team that they cave under pressure, and when they are gone to Newcastle, Liverpool, Man City, United, wherever they may go, it's very hard for them to actually get a result. Mind you, it obviously it is, but they got a result today, and I think it was well deserved. Were there some calls on there that were very hard done by? Yes, of course there was. I think on both sides, I think there's a cause and call for some of the calls that Jared Gillett made during this game. But overall, I am happy that Arsenal won this game. The fact that we're going into this game knowing that our rivals drop points, knowing that Liverpool drop points, Spurs drop points, and then, is massive. Crystal Palace, yeah, they're having an amazing season. They are the only undefeated team now in the league, and they were above us. We started in sixth place this game. It was crucial to get points. Not only did Liverpool lose points, but we needed to gain those. And I think in previous seasons where Arsenal did not capitalize on either Man City not collecting points or Liverpool, for that matter, not collecting points, this was a crucial game. And me going into this game knowing that something like this could have happened was insane. Brentford obviously beating Man United 3-1 was huge. Brighton beating Chelsea 3-1, that's huge. Crystal Palace beating Liverpool 2-1, that is massive. The only ones that gained points were City. That's pretty fair. That's a pretty decent, thing to say, because, Tottenham were up there, us and Liverpool, and Man City, but it was crucial. The teams that needed to drop points needed to drop points. And with that, let's get into the lineup. The lineup, I swear to God, it was great. We finally see Eze coming in and, sort of running that Odegaard role. And you think, okay, really good lineup there. Trossard again gets the nod. I don't know what it is about Trossard, to be completely honest with you. I don't know what it is when I'm seeing him playing, and much so for Gyökeres, which I'll get to him in a minute. But it just seems like Trossard, for me, even though he got a 7.1 rating here on FootMob, I don't know if I would give him that rating. It's just something about the way that he's playing. To me, he's more of a super sub, I think, and I can't pinpoint it. And let me know down in the comments, guys, what you think. Am I being a little too harsh on Trossard? You know what? Given how Martinelli has been playing, I would have started Martinelli. I'm going to come out and say it. And then maybe if we needed to bring in Trossard, because I think Trossard is more of a super sub than he is a starter. And that's just the nature of the beast. But overall, he came on and he did a good job. The one thing that I'm going to criticize this lineup on is Christian Mosquera, not because of the fact that he did an error which led to Voltamalte's goal, but if William Saliba, okay, William Saliba was on the bench. If he is fit to play, why not just start him? That is my question. Oh, his ankle this and his ankle that. If they knew that he had an ankle problem, why is he even on the bench? That is my question. Why is he on the bench? He should have not been anywhere near that bench if he still had an ankle problem. But he's good enough to come in and start playing. That makes no sense to me. He should have started right from the beginning. You needed your defense to be top notch. And even though Mosquera has done very little wrong in his time here at Arsenal, I think it really showed today's game his age, his sort of maybe, I don't want to say inexperience because he's had so much experience playing in La Liga, but the Premier League is a different beast. And when you have players like the players in Newcastle with Gordon and Ovoltamade and Murphy, Guimaraes, Tonali, I mean, pretty much their whole attacking line, Joe Linton, you need experience, and Saliba obviously has that experience. So I'm not taking that excuse that he had ankle issues. Then why is he on the bench? That's my only concern. That's my only concern. And much to Gabriel's you know mistake that he did in allowing Voltamalte to get that goal. It's good that he redeemed himself with that goal. I think today, Mikel Arteta, aside from that, I think he did all right with his with his substitutions. Mikel Merino coming in as a super sub, that's where I see it as well. That's like a Trossard effect. When you're coming in, you need something, and he just gives you that extra added pace and like not even so much pace, but maybe attack or something sort of different. He gives that to you, much like Trossard coming off the bench. So I don't see Mikel Merino and Trossard as starters. I see them more as the finishers that he's calling them. But super subs. Let's get thing once. Let's get this straight here. I think Arteta sometimes can go off the handle. But I think Marino coming in and stacking it up and winning gives that height advantage as well, winning that header, because I swear to God, Arsenal playing against, I think, is Newcastle, can anybody fact check this? Is Newcastle like is the tallest team in the league? I swear they have to be the tallest team in the league. And this is another frustration that Arsenal have, where they're playing Newcastle or they're playing a team that's taller than they are. And Arsenal have tall players, but like the mammoths that Newcastle have, like Burn and Botman, even like Voltamalte and Guimaraes for the most part, I think he's tall. Playing the ball over them does not work. Why are we continuously doing that? It doesn't make any sense that we continuously try to play the ball over them where it's not working. It's just absolutely not working. And I think Arsenal really, really have to realize that sometimes playing the ball over is not worth it. It does not work against these tall teams. And I think there needs to be a different type of strategy, much so like taking a touch when you don't need to take a touch. I think one of my frustrations today was back to Leandro Trossard, is when there was a beautiful pass to him. I think it was Odegaard or it was Rice that threaded that ball, and why touch it? Just shoot it first time. I don't get that. I don't get why Arsenal, and I think it's Arsenal, this is the only team that does this, where they want to take way too many touches, one too many touches that can cost you. Same thing. Who was it that came in? Miles Lewis Skelly. That like when he came on and he like it felt like he took like 15 years to try to cross that ball in a tap in to Gabriel just before Gabriel Malagash got that goal was so frustrating to me. Just touch the ball. It doesn't matter if you get it wrong, but you could also get it right. And if you don't try, you don't know and you fail. And I think that's another part of Arsenal's game where the ball movement so far this season has been really slow or just one too many touches. I don't know what it is, but they need to get that shit sorted out for real. Honestly, I can't stand it at times. And it's just annoying to me that they have to do the one touch. Just like dude, I was pulling my hair so much for that. And I don't get it. Now I want to come to Gyökeres before we move on to talking about other things. I hate to say this, and I don't want to be that guy that starts asking these questions already, but something needs to be asked about Gyökeres. Something has to be asked about Gyökeres right now. He had some really poor touches. Look at his accuracy. Look at his passes, okay? Accurate passes. 62%, 8 out of 13 passes. Chances created, he did 2, okay? He did 2. And I look at the shots. Look at the shots. 1 out of 6 shots, 17%. He had 32 touches, 12 touches in the box, 1 out of 3 successful dribbles. 1 out of 3. I swear he had more. Honestly, his touches were poor. He had ground duels, 2 out of 5, 40%, and he only won 1 aerial battle. Whatever. It doesn't. I'm not saying that, you know, I'm like against Gyökeres. I think he's still a quality striker, and I think he still needs to find his groove and his positioning. Like even here, right? Victor Gyökeres had the least touches, 32 out of any outfield player to play in the 90 minutes. There's just I cannot pinpoint it, but there is something about Gyökeres' first touch that just does not sit well with me. And I don't know what that is. And correct me if I'm wrong here, because I want to be wrong, but certain questions need to start being asked about Gyökeres' ability to play in the big games. I'm not saying that he's bad. I'm not saying that he should be benched. I'm not saying that he's a flop. I'm backing him, but it's just something about him in the last couple of games that I've seen where his touches have been really poor, and I just don't know what it is, dude. Even Eze today, 7.2 rating for him. I think that's a little too high. He had some poor touches as well. Zubimendi, Trossard. I think it's just Arsenal having poor touch management. I don't know if that's even a thing, or maybe I'm just going out of left field here, but I just think that it needs to improve. I don't know what it is, man. It's crazy. It's crazy to me that we're still talking about, the final touch and whatnot, and there's still being issues. I don't know what they're doing in the training ground, but for me, I'm not asking the questions yet, but when do we start asking questions about Victor Gyökeres and his play? Because this is another game where he hasn't scored a goal. And I don't know. I'm not saying that he's bad. I'm not going against him. So don't get that twisted. I'm just saying we need to discuss about his touch. He's slipping on the ball. I think his work rate is excellent. Like, he's trying to get there. He's trying to make things happen. And, the feeding the ball to him is a little bit better as we progress. But I just don't know what it is about that. And, I don't know. I just don't, I can't pinpoint it. Anyways, Arsenal got the win, and now we're sitting just 2 points below Liverpool, which is great. 1 point above Crystal Palace, which they're undefeated, and we're 2 points ahead of Tottenham and Sunderland and Bournemouth. But creeping in there is Man City, so you don't know. Next, we play Olympiacos in the Champions League, so that's going to be good. And then just before the international break, we play West Ham. So, yeah, great game for Arsenal. I think we need to talk about certain things as well. Like, I find this very interesting here, where this ex PGMOL chief, his name is Keith Hackett. He was a FIFA referee from 1981 to 1999. He has 100 FA Cup final referee appearances. And apparently he was the former boss of PGMOL. And he's come out here a couple of times and talked about the refereeing and his criticism of it. So I just find it very interesting to hear his point of view, because it needs to be talked about. The PGMOL needs to be scrutinized very heavily. This is the best league in the world, and supposedly they need to have the best referees. And supposedly they are some of the best referees in the world. Like, I mean, if you take a look at CONCACAF and the atrocious refereeing that they have, you have to take accountability. I mean, look at where the referee is here. How does he calls the penalty originally, which is great, but then he gets overturned. Listen to what Keith has to say here.
In what appears to be a clear foul on an opponent, and the correct decision would have been to award a penalty kick, Arsenal have every right to feel aggrieved. Sorry. VAR and referee both viewing that incident, stating it's not a penalty kick, is simply astonishing. Arsenal on the wrong end of this decision.
Simply astonishing is what he says. Simply astonishing. And that's coming from a former chief of PGMOL. And I think you need to hold them into account. I think some questions really need to be asked. There is so many questions being asked right now. Even I think they're being scrutinized even more so this season than it was last season, even though last season, they had some really bad decisions being made. I mean, take a look at this video as well here, where they're saying that it goes off of his foot. But much like the Mohamed Salah handball, and yes, it was a handball, you can clearly see the deflection off of his hand. You cannot see the deflection on this guy's boot. I don't care what anybody says. Take a look.
Effectivement, il est légèrement en retard, mais il ne fait pas un geste délibéré de venir tacler l'attaquant.
You mean to tell me that ball touches his foot?
On est d'accord que si cette faute-là a lieu au milieu de terrain, vous la sifflez 100 fois sur 100. Certainement.
There is no change of direction. Look, the ball's still going in the trajectory. How is that even given?
J'aurais tendance à pencher plus pour le penalty. Ouais. Mais je peux comprendre que l'interprétation de quelqu'un d'autre puisse être différente. Ouais, il faut rappeler que...
Now they're going to take it, I think, slow-mo again. Watch.
Il est légèrement en retard, mais il ne fait pas un geste délibéré de venir tacler l'attaquant. On est d'accord que si cette recrée a lieu au milieu de terrain, vous la sifflez 100 fois sur 100. Certainement.
Insanity. The trajectory of the ball does not change. It's physics. It's physics. It's impossible to even see that. How? If you take a look at the Mo Salah handball, it changes direction. I swear to God, I was having this debate with my friend yesterday, who she's a Liverpool supporter, and I'm like, there is change in direction of the ball. When he touches it, it's proven. It's a proven fact. But then again, it's not given, and that's what we're asking for here. We're asking for scrutiny. We're asking for why that was not given as a penalty. I just don't understand it. And it's insanity. It's insanity. And yes, so, once again, the robbery here that, Newcastle is supposedly being robbed here, with this supposed handball. Okay, so you could tell here there is no way he's just going up there, like his hand is in. I feel his hand is in a natural position, to be honest, but I just don't think. I just don't know. I can't give that because there's no way the ball is coming at him at a strong pace, and everybody is gonna disagree. I'm trying to see whether or not, on the other end, would this be given. Luckily for Arsenal, it did go our way. I am leaning towards, it possibly could be a handball, but then, it's saying that it went off of his foot, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot right now, but I gotta disagree. That's to a level of it's just natural for him how the way he's going down. I don't know. I don't know. I- we Arsenal got lucky this game, and that's all I'm going to say. Arsenal got lucky. Like the touchline here is saying, true or false, Newcastle United have been robbed. Let's see the comments here. Are you joking? Newcastle robbed? Yeah, I would have to agree. There's that one that clearly a penalty. The Gabriel incident here that he's talking about when Volta pushing him. No, that's Gabriel is completely in the wrong here. He dove. He dove. It's like Gabriel, stop it. If you can go against Virgil van Dijk, the strongest and best defender in the league, yes, Amanda, I'll give that to you. You can go against him. There is no way. Stop it. Gyökeres actually, there was another foul on Gyökeres, and if I can find that, there was where he was being held down. That was a foul, and it wasn't called. So why is it that now you all of a sudden Newcastle got robbed and blah blah blah? Like, it is what it is, man. Sometimes it goes against you, sometimes it doesn't. But when it's a clear and obvious error, it sucks. And that's what happened with Victor Gyökeres getting it. And you know what? Arsenal probably gonna, go be made fun of because, again, once they're celebrating like they won something and blah blah blah. But in all honesty, I don't know. This one right here. Gyökeres is not giving anything. You can have other arguments, but he worked his socks off every game, which is true. I agree with that. Most runs he makes, the defenders hold him, which is also true. Case in point, this picture here. Tell me how this is not a foul. Lascelles is all over him trying to do he can't even breathe. This man can't even breathe right here. Tell me how that's not a foul. Anyways, he goes on to say he needs to learn to drop down because he's just a ram. He could easily win more fouls. I mean, I don't agree in that sense. I don't think that you should just go to ground right away because, oh, you're being touched and you go down. Case in point, like how Gabriel went down because he was touched. No, don't do that. I think you should fight and you should let, take its course. But this is absolutely atrocious from Lascelles. What is the point of that? That's literally a foul. Literally a foul, and that should be given. So, but it wasn't, right? Clearly it was not. So I don't know, man. I don't know. It only Arsenal are allowed to play basketball. Apparently, this guy Anfield Red here, Martin Odegaard against Liverpool. I think this was last season where apparently Odegaard touches the ball, and then you go here. It's just find it funny. Our Liverpool fans are probably fuming that was not given to them, but you know what? Who cares, dude? Who cares? And Men in Blazers also are saying Arsenal fans went through all the emotions this weekend, which is so true. Crystal Palace 2, Liverpool 1, and then we get sad because Newcastle is beating us, and then we're back at it again, being so happy that we won against Newcastle. That's honestly so funny. But yeah, happy days. It's good. It's good that that we got this win because we needed it. I seeing another thing here on X. Bukayo Saka said, "Speechless." In quote, speechless, but it doesn't matter now. For me, if we have VAR, it's for clear and obvious error. The fact it took the ref that long to decide, it shows it's not clean error. This little thing always goes against us, but today we got what we deserved. Do you agree with what Bukayo Saka has said there? Do you agree that VAR is for clear and obvious error, and the fact that it took for the referee so long to make a decision, it was not a clear error? 100% agree with that. VAR, that's what it's there for. And these little things always go against us today. But today, we got what we deserved. I mean, I'm being biased by saying this because I'm an Arsenal fan, but I think he's absolutely correct. So, you know what? Happy days. We got within what we needed, within the 2 points. And yeah, that's it. I mean, this was another one from the touchline here. This is going way too far. This can't be accepted by the officials. Once again, that grab by Lascelles on Victor Gyökeres. It's like he's trying to tell him, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, and putting him down, you know? Compared with Bruno and Jorginho last season, yeah, it's comparable. Obviously, somebody tell the refs it's football. It's not a circus act. When did football turn into WWE? Literally helping him to do his celebration, which is odd. Oddly enough as well. What was it? Joe Linton? Yeah, Joe Linton got a yellow card for that foul, and then he kept mouthing off the ref. Now, I am a referee, and if a player like that continuously is mouthing off like that, I'm being a little bit too harsh, but I would have given him another yellow card and red card and sent him off. I would have done that. I think he deserved to, because there's no way that you can treat a referee like that as well, even though referees are highly scrutinized, and I get it, and that shouldn't have happened. But maybe I'm just being a little nitpicky here. But happy days. Arsenal get the W. That's what we needed. That's what we wanted. And now it's just happy days, and we move forward with it. We look to now to Olympiacos in the Champions League, which is coming this Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time if you're in Canada. And we're looking at what could potentially be a nice little run here in the Champions League. We're playing at home. Olympiacos is not an easy team. We've had history with Olympiacos when they beat us a couple of times, so it's not like they're gonna go in there and absolutely take them out. We need to start with a strong lineup. We need to get the result and move forward onto the next match, which will be against against West Ham. West Ham before the international, another stupid international break. And right now, Arsenal are sitting pretty at second place FC, corner FC, last minute goal FC, whatever you want to call us. And we play in the league against 19th place West Ham, who have had an absolutely atrocious start to the season with only 1 win, 0 draws, 4 losses. So they're they have a loss, win, loss. So that is going to be absolutely terrible. And they're going to play against Everton tomorrow as well. So Everton are in 12th place. So is it an easy game? Is it an easy fixture? It's never an easy fixture in the Premier League, dude. It's never. We can't take it for granted. But we hope that we can get the win, and it's at home. Is it? Yeah, it's in the Emirates Stadium again. So happy days. It should be a win, and hopefully we can continue and pressure Liverpool in the league, and we can. The league is not over. The league is not over yet, guys. The league is definitely not over yet. Today, honestly, I was thinking that if it was, and if we lost, we just don't have the grit and determination. Today, it just, once again, Arsenal proved to me that there is grit and determination to at least try to get a tie, which we've seen against Man City. And, we tried against Liverpool, even though, Liverpool, they're the best team in the land. But it shows the determination. Do I still think that we could win the league? I don't know if we definitely showed today that we have the grit and determination to see out a game. Will that continue throughout the season? We have to see. We have to see whether that continues throughout the season. I hope it does. Today was proven. Arteta has been doing some questionable things this season, even though we're 7 games in, or 6 or 7 games in. Just stick to what we know, man. We have the depth. We got to go out there and win these games, but we got to do it properly. We got to work on the first touches. We have to work on moving the ball a little bit faster. We are a fast team that we should be able to do that. And we need to find a way that where our, teams have found out how we play, right? They double, triple team Saka. We need to figure out another way to alleviate that. We need to figure it out. Good questions to ask. Good problems to have in terms of squad depth, right? To who do you choose? And I think maybe that's another issue there, is trying to figure out what is your first 11 week in, week out. It's a good problem to have, but it's also a flawed one, because you're just not gelling. You're not getting that fluidity. And I think that's a problem for Arsenal. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I will be back to do a Champions League recap show as well. And then, so there's going to be a couple of shows this week, hopefully. And then maybe we can do another Shambles Extra Time show as well, where we talk not just Arsenal, we talk more about the league and in general. Check us out on shamblesfc.com, guys. That's where we post everything, and you can follow us there. We're on Twitter. We're on X. We're on Blue Sky. We're on YouTube. If you wanted to see all of the videos that I've seen today, well, that's where I'm going to post it. It's up there. And follow us on TikTok as well, guys. Thank you so much for listening. This has been the Arsenal post-match review on shamblesfc.com. We'll talk to you on the next one. Happy days. Come on, you Gooners.